Hi, and welcome to an exciting new episode here on the NFL Fan Forum. My name is Art, aka the Sea Cow, and this is my sidekick John, aka the Cowlick.
What's up?
Thank you for joining us. Today we are going to talk about our predictions for the Broncos and Seahawks going into Week 9. But first, our play of the day.
A crisp-looking drive here. And open inside the 35. Metcalf. All the way inside the 20. DK Metcalf. And that's going to be a Seahawk touchdown. Wow.
First, let's talk about the Broncos. What an inspiring come-from-behind win against the Los Angeles Chargers. The Broncos looked dead and lifeless in this game until the third quarter. So what happened that changed the momentum in this game?
So there were two things that changed the momentum in this game. The first one, Philip Lindsay's 55-yard run. That is the longest play we've had all season, and it was for a touchdown, which really got the whole team going. Then, on 2nd and 16, most people did not see this. I think I'm the only one that saw this. On 2nd and 16, Drew Lock threw to Jerry Jeudy, and it was an incompletion, and Jerry Jeudy was furious. He was very mad, and if you were to replay that clip, you will see Jerry Jeudy's frustration. And then I guess something happened in the huddle, because on 3rd and 16, Drew Lock threw to Jerry Jeudy again, and that caused him to get a 40-yard gain and the first down. That's another thing that sparked the offense to score 3 more touchdowns in the fourth quarter and score the game-winning touchdown for the Broncos' victory. So I think those were the two main bits in this Broncos game.
Yeah, it definitely did a lot. All those plays they did at the end of the game. This could be the kind of game that can turn the season around. You think they can keep this going in Atlanta this week?
I think so, because the Houston game last year, he was kind of playing in a dome, and Drew Lock seems to play better in domes rather than air with a big stadium with no roof. So I think he does way better in a dome. So I think he's going to throw more consistent this time. I think he's going to be able to spot more wide open receivers. And I do think we're going to be able to carry the momentum in this game. And I think we're going to win this game.
Quarterback Drew Lock certainly did come out of nowhere to lead this team to victory. He made some very clutch passes to his receivers. How do you think he's going to do against the Falcons secondary?
Very well, because the Falcons secondary, it kind of sucks right now. I know they have rookie AJ Terrell. He's been playing pretty good, I'll admit that, but I don't know anybody else other than him. So I think Drew Lock will be able to connect with some receivers and tight ends, but you never know. You got to be careful with the Falcons secondary. Even though I don't know much about them, you got to be careful with every single secondary you face. So he just has to be careful, mindful about it, and not get picks this time.
Running back Philip Lindsay did break off that huge touchdown run to start the comeback. So what will he and Melvin Gordon do against Atlanta this week?
Surprisingly, a lot. I'm predicting them to do a lot, especially Philip Lindsay. Philip Lindsay, he's like the main part of our offense aside from Drew Lock. He's like one of the main parts of our offense. He knows how to get through those holes. He knows how to get around the defensive line and offensive line people. He knows how to just bounce around and just get wide open gains. Melvin Gordon, he's much slower than Philip Lindsay, and he is a bigger running back, so he's able to like plow through everybody. But thing is, Melvin Gordon has fumbled a lot this season. Philip Lindsay, so far, has not fumbled at all. So I think Philip Lindsay's going to have a much bigger game than Melvin Gordon.
Wide receivers like Jerry Jeudy, they came up big last week in the comeback, but I was also very impressed with the play of Deshaun Hamilton. Has he turned a corner for the better?
Possibly. I mean, I still don't like the guy because I call him like the guy that drops everything, because he really does drop everything. He drops every single pass that throws to him. And when Drew Lock kept connecting with him against the Chargers, I was really surprised. I was surprised how well he was playing. Did he turn a corner? Possibly. If he plays well against the Falcons and he makes the catches this time, I might have different thoughts on Deshaun Hamilton. We might have to keep him instead of trade him.
The defense has been playing pretty well and getting a lot of pressure on opposing quarterbacks. But what are they going to have to do to stop Matt Ryan and Julio Jones in this offense?
The biggest thing, sacking the quarterback. Matt Ryan doesn't like pressure. And if he gets pressured, he's going to panic and we're possibly going to intercept the ball because of it. So that's the big thing. The other big thing is stopping Todd Gurley. I know Todd Gurley hasn't been playing well lately, but their backup Hill has been playing very well. But for some reason, they're not using him as often as Gurley. They're still using Gurley. But I think we'll be able to stop Gurley despite us losing Mike Purcell. And then the last thing we need this is really big. We really need to stop Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley. We need to kind of like double team Julio Jones somehow because Matt Ryan, that's his favorite target, Julio Jones. So we're going to need to double team Julio Jones. And then Bryce Callahan, he can cover Calvin Ridley. He is fast, and same with Calvin Ridley, and he'll be able to cover Calvin Ridley very well. So those are the three big things.
It certainly will be a good game on the road for you guys. So let's move on to the predictions and find out what we think of the game and possibilities of who's going to win. So looking at it from how Denver's been playing lately and the injury situation, you guys are coming in decently healthy. Lindsey's back. You got some decent players still there. And with the momentum you got from last week's game, I really think that you guys have a good chance in playing in Atlanta. And I'm looking at a 27-21 victory for Denver. What do you think?
I was thinking of a similar score, but except I have us winning 27-19. A little bit of a difference, but I think we can win this game. Now let's move over to the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks are coming off a strong win over the rival San Francisco 49ers, 37-27. The offense looked outstanding again, and the defense played well for the first three quarters as well. Are we starting to see this team come together?
I think we are. The offense has been lights out since the beginning of the season, which has been a blessing to get us to 6-1. Russell Wilson is playing awesome ball right now, with a couple blips, but other than that, he's been doing super great for an MVP season. The receivers are doing really well. The offense has really done as everything we could ever ask for so far. But the defense has lagged so far behind. They've looked out of place. They've had injuries. Jamal Adams not being there has been huge. There's been a lot of bad things that have happened on the defense, but yet they've still played hard because we're still in a +7 turnover ratio situation, which is top 3. That's been saving us in a lot of games as well. But I think that the play is starting to catch up. I really do. Last weekend we saw some glimmers of sack pressure coming. We also saw some better coverage. I just think that the blitzing part of it from this last weekend's game, I think that that's been something that we've missed for a long time, and we need to continue to do more of it. And I think we can see more of it this weekend against Buffalo.
QB Russell Wilson is continuing his strong push for MVP recognition. Strong play will be needed against a good Buffalo Bills defense. What will we see from Russ on Sunday?
I think we're going to see a very good game. The weather conditions in Buffalo are supposed to be surprisingly nice, 60s, and that's going to really benefit his throwing ability. And he's got some good defenders, though, out there, so he's got to be patient and he's got to be careful because they're very aggressive. Tre'Davious White, Jordan Poyer, these guys are very good in the secondary. Even if we do have DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, who are just having phenomenal seasons, he might have to look a little more towards the tight ends as well in this game. He's going to have to pick it up, but I think that he's going to have a very good game. I think there's a very good possibility of about 3 touchdowns this game.
The running back group is banged up with no Chris Carson and Carlos Hyde. How will the young guys, Travis Homer and DJ Dallas, do in their place?
You know, DJ Dallas stepped up really well last week. It was his first start. He couldn't have done much more as a first-time starter last week. He really couldn't. He scored a receiving touchdown and he scored a rushing touchdown, and he had decent yards. And he blocked whenever he could. For a rookie to do that, just coming in to spot and fill up, he's just really good. He did really well. As for Travis Homer coming back, he's shown flashes of doing really well. And since they're both really close teammates from the same college, Miami University, they're going to feed off of each other in this game. And I think they're going to help Russell Wilson have a decent game. I really do. But we'll see. Buffalo's front is susceptible to rushing yards, so we may want to take advantage of as much as we can get out of rushing the ball.
DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett are having Pro Bowl caliber seasons, but now they will be up against a top 5 secondary this week. How will they do?
You know, that's going to be a good matchup, like I was telling you earlier. You got some very good players out there, Tre'Davious White and Jordan Poyer. These are very, very good veteran players for a good, outstanding secondary. This is going to be a great matchup. I figured this is going to be something similar to the Arizona game a couple weeks ago. They're going to get their moments. They're aggressive. They're going to try to punch the ball out to get fumbles. So securing the ball is going to be huge. Not only catching it, but they're going to have to secure it when they do get it. I really do think that no one can cover DK Metcalf very well on this group. I think they're going to have help for that. So this could be a possibility where David Moore has a good game and then Tyler Lockett has a big game. So I think the wide receiver group could do pretty well this week.
The offensive line has really stepped up and come together. How are they doing it?
You know, that's a great question. With no training camps for anybody, including us, with COVID problems, for new guys to come in and just gel together like they have. I've looked at rookie Damian Lewis at right guard and Ethan Poshik, who's been sitting on the bench the last couple of years with some injuries at center. And then, of course, Brandon Shell coming over from the Jets this offseason. The whole right side is brand new. And for them to come together and actually keep Russell Wilson pretty clean this year and really protecting him and also blocking for the rush, those guys have done a great job. Jordan Simmons stepping in for an injured Mike Iupati, who's a great player too. He's done great. And then steady Dwayne Brown at the left tackle. Keeping him fresh has been huge, and we need to keep that up, giving him rest during the week and giving him some reps at the end of the week. They found a good formula for keeping him healthy. That needs to keep happening. And this offensive line coming together like this, it's a blessing in disguise for Russell Wilson. He hasn't had this in a long time, right since the Super Bowl caliber teams.
The defense is starting to play better. Now Jamal Adams and Carlos Dunlap are jumping into the mix. What can we expect from this defense against quarterback Josh Allen and the Bills offense?
You know, the Bills offense, I got to give them props. Josh Allen is having a great year. 16 touchdowns. It's been a good year. And he's got great weapons out there. He's got John Ross. He's got Stephon Diggs. I mean, these kind of guys are having really, really good years. And Moss behind him running the ball. This is a good offense and nothing to play with. He can scramble too on third down, so they lead the league in third down efficiency, so that's another big problem. Bobby Wagner's going to have his work cut out for him for sure, leading this team on defense, and he has to have everybody lined up just right. He has to see the plays as best he can. And continue to have a little bit of blitzing involved, because you can't let Josh Allen have comfort in the back behind the line. You're going to have to get pressure on him and pick your poison and try to track him down. He seems to make bad throws a lot when he's under pressure, or errant throws. So that's where the opportunities for Jamal Adams and the secondary can have. Yeah, Quandre Diggs, need to get some interceptions because I think we're going to get 2 interceptions in this game. So I think the defense is going to have to stuff the run, and which we can, and then make the chances of interceptions on pressure.
So let's discuss our predictions for this game. Looking at it, for each quarter, there's going to be a dogfight for sure. For each side of the ball, it's going to be a very well fought game. And I had the Seahawks winning 30-20. I'm pretty sure the Seahawks can do it, and they're going to be able to score at least 3 touchdowns. What do you have?
So I'm looking at it, and I don't see any slowing down on this offense, even with a good defense coming up. I still think that Russell is just playing out of his mind. He's playing great, and the offensive line is protecting him. I think we're going to have a high-scoring output again. And I think the Bills are just not going to have enough. I think it's going to be a 31-24 victory for Seattle. That's what I see. Well, that'll do it for our predictions for Week 9. Thank you for tuning in today. Tell us what you think in the comments section below, and be sure to destroy that like button and subscribe to our channel. By the way, click the notification bell so that way you'll be notified when we post a new video. Again, thank you for joining us today. This is Art
And John.
signing off.